everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tammy and I own Walnut Creek Bath Boutique, and today is a candle making day. I'm so excited, guys. I have tested and have made my decisions somewhat, and today's video is all about those tests and where I'm at today. Wax. I have chosen ProBlend 600 container wax for my wax. I was already leaning towards that, but when I started burning those soy candles, I had completely decided I didn't like any of them. The problem is that every single wick that should have worked tunneled. I did kind of make sure that I wasn't just choosing them out of the air, so they tunneled badly. I think I gave them 4-hour burns. So what I ended up doing is I ended up taping my candles per hour for every burn, and I was able to, with just one go, watch that candle every hour for the 11 burns that I did. I did 11 4-hour burns. I like the Premier wicks the best. The Eco and the CD had me feeling so much like on this emotional roller coaster. One burn, I would say that's an out. That is a horrible wick. There's no way that's going to be right for this candle. And the next burn, I'm thinking, well, that looks pretty good actually. And they both did that. The CDs, they had quite a bit of black smoke through them and they mushroomed quite a bit. And the Ecos were just weird. One time I would think, well, that Eco 14 is out. There's no, that's not good. And maybe 2 burns later, I would think that Eco 14 looks really good right now. I can't handle that in my life. I can't handle that. So I'm nixing both the Ecos and the CDs. I'm done. No more. Goodbye. You would think, okay, well, that leaves Premier, right? Not so fast, guys. So I have very recently started watching Wade at Black Tie Barn Candle Company. I like him a lot. I like Stanley Handcrafted, and I like Armitage Candle Company. Wade had mentioned a lot of wicks seem to work well in that, and I can really see why he would say that, because although I'm putting the CDs and Ecos away, I could see where there were times where they looked great. All of the Premier sizes ended up looking pretty good. For my 3¼ inch diameter candles, I use 755, 60, and 765 Premiers. And they all started looking good. Now, Wade also said he really likes HTP. So I decided to go ahead and get HTP Wicks. I don't feel like I'm wasting that much more of ingredients by just testing the HTPs along with my Premiers with my fragrance oil. So that's what I'm doing. So guys, I'm just going to plug in here before we move forward a little bit of my editing of the wicks that I chose, and you can kind of see the progression of the candle and what I'm looking for and my thoughts while I'm looking at them. I do find it difficult to find a good video out there on actual burning of candles and what people look for. It's kind of a boring thing, right? So I can see why nobody would want to put it out there. But I would really like to see one of these candle guys that I watch do something like this and voice their thoughts on that flame and that melt pool and what's happening every hour of this burn test. I think that would be really helpful for me, for sure. But here's what I came up with. And then this one is shorter just because I ran out of wax. That is the Premier 760. So it's going to be a little warmer environment where that flame is, just because it's further down. But so far looking good. It's also looking pretty good. It's also looking pretty good. It's maybe 1/4 inch of a melt pool though. So, and 760 is looking pretty good. I'm going to blow them out. Is looking pretty good too. Still looks pretty good. It's got a full melt pool. It's got a bit of a mushroom. I saw a little bit of black smoke right there. Not too bad though. Here's Wicks look to be a little mushroomy. But other than that, that's a pretty good one at 760. Looks pretty good. Looking really good. Which again is lower and looking pretty good. Looking really good. Almost a full melt pull. I was thinking that would be the one I wouldn't want, and I'm thinking I like it the best so far. It's looking really good. It just looks really good. It's almost a full melt pull. 3 hours in, I would expect it to be a full melt pull by now. So that may be a little small. I'm just not sure what is going on. Looks pretty good. So again, the smaller numbers are looking better than the bigger numbers. Let me do a temperature since that's so low. 105. So that's not too bad. This is definitely done. 760. All right, so now we get to the fun part. First things first, I took my labels or my painter's tape off my jars, and I went and bought a tray. Let me show you. So I bought a big, tray from Walmart, just a throwaway, and a pizza stone from Walmart. This was only like $5 for this pizza stone, but what I'm doing is setting my oven to 170, and I set the stone on top and setting my candles on top of that. And I'm melting all of the wax out of these candles, and it drops into the tray. And then while it's still hot, I can take a plier and really get that wick out. As long as it's hot, I can do that. Those wick tabs are tenacious. So that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to get all of these melted out, clean the jars as best as I can, and re-wick them. So this wick, for this fragrance oil, I'm doing Htp 83, 73, and 93. And then I'm going to stick with my same Premier Wick sizes of the 755, 760, and 765. Can you see it? Pumpkin Souffle from Candle Science. Love this fragrance oil so much. I'll be back. Guys, it's clearly been a couple months since I taped that, and a lot has happened. And I've already taped this portion of the video, but when I was editing it yesterday, I realized how just kind of defeated I sounded. Kind of defeated, and I was having a time. I was having a time of it. So I don't want to be all, Debbie Downer on this channel. So with a smile, I'm going to share what has happened the last couple months with my candle making journey. And it has been a journey, guys. I thought I had my wick. I'm going to try not to throw in a bunch of numbers because I feel like that could just be super confusing. But I thought I had my wick. Premier 760. Thought that was my wick. Burned pretty good on my initial naked wax testing. So I decided that I wanted to give those a try just in case, because I'm a little bit unsure of myself. Okay, I'm a lot unsure of myself when it comes to all these wicks. So I thought, if Htp works really good, maybe I should know that. That's something I should know. I did my wick that I felt burned the best in naked wax, one above and one below. So I had 3 of those wicks. And as I was testing those wicks, I thought, while I'm at it, I'm just going to test these 3 HTPs with the pumpkin scented wax too. I didn't feel like I was out that much and maybe saving a little bit of time. At the same time, I was still testing those wicks with naked wax, but I just figured one of those 3 wicks for HTP will work, and then I'll have 6 to choose from pumpkin to see which one I like the best. Which one, whether it was Premier or HTP, that I like the best. Every single wick tunneled so bad. I was blown away at the amount of tunneling that all of those wicks did. I would have expected that adding fragrance to wax, I've always heard anyway, wick up or wick down. So that's why I did a one above and one below. Significantly tunneling, guys. I don't think I even got 3 burn cycles in because it was tunneling so bad it was just really pointless. And that got me really thinking that maybe that first initial test wasn't as good as I was thinking it was, and this time I'm really starting to question myself. So I went on and ordered more wicks. I ordered larger of the HTPs, and I ordered larger of the Premiers. I did new naked wax tests and the pumpkin while I was at it. Goodness gracious. It's just like one moment a wick will look good and the next moment it won't. And a lot of wicks were not doing what I thought. So I would expect a smaller wick to have more wax on the sides. If it's going to have wax on the sides, I would expect that smaller wick to have more wax. I did not expect more wax up on the side with a larger wick. So some of my smaller wicks would outperform a larger wick. How is a larger wick tunneling when a smaller wick doesn't? That has been going on from day one. So it's like I'm not sure I understand what's going on here. I really thought I had it figured out. I had HTP 104 was the wick. It was burning perfectly. The other style, Premier 795, was burning, it was underwicked. So all of those were still underwicked. All of those, it was crazy. So when I got to about that 10, 11, 12 burn cycle, it started to flip on me. And the one wick that I thought from the moment I lit that candle was perfect became too hot. The other wick that from the moment I started burning it, thought it was underwicked, became perfect. I don't expect a customer to understand that wax up on the sides of the candle, a significant amount of wax on the side of the candle, will catch up if you just keep burning it. I mean, I can give them care cards and explain that all I want to, but I don't really expect them to kind of understand that. And I certainly don't want a vessel getting too hot because it's overwicked when it gets down below a certain level. Okay. All right. I had to stop myself. I'm smiling again, right? Fake it till you make it. After a few weeks of really just deliberating and really thinking hard on this, I'm giving up these jars. I understand that some jars are hard to wick. I understand that just because I've read reviews. And I'm thinking this may be one. So I love this. I love the look of it. It's kind of gunky. I just think it's so cool looking. But I don't think I have the experience and the knowledge at this moment to wick this and really get a good handle on it. So I'm not saying never, but for now, I'm not using this jar. I've wasted 3 months of my life trying to wick that jar. At this point, I don't even care about the money wasted. I wasted 3 months. So what I did is I went to these little smooth mason jars, the smooth jars. I didn't want the lines and anything. I did not really want to do this. And one of the reasons I didn't want to do this is mason jars feels very rustic to me. I'm not rustic. I'm not high end. And I had a subscriber, Cheryl, had mentioned 16, 17, and those vessels are beautiful, but they're like $6 or $7 a piece. I am not a high-end brand, and so for me to charge $30, $35 for a candle, that's not going to happen for me, I don't think, especially on a product that's untested. And as much as I loved that jar that she shared with me, it's just not for me yet. I need to test my waters, and I need to see my sales, and I need to let my candles grow my candle line, as opposed to what I've done in the past is just throw money at something and then hope that it sells. I'm throwing enough money at these candles, right? So I really think I'm going to start smaller, and then maybe eventually if I get a decent return on my investment, then I can branch off and get some of those gorgeous, gorgeous jars. But they are also a little higher end than my brand. I'm pretty well in the middle there, and I'm very comfortable being there. I don't want to push myself or my company into a direction that it shouldn't go. A very high-end candle line is not where I should go, and a very rustic candle line is not where I should go. I should keep myself right in the middle. And one of the reasons I held and did not want to do the mason jar was it just felt rustic in my mind. And then I saw some pictures with the black lids, and I'm thinking, that's not that rustic. It's not rustic. As long as I lose this and get a different lid, then I think I can get these to where I want them, and do my labels the way I want them, so that they're more in line with my branding. So I have 8-ounce mason jars here. I was able to get these at Walmart, so I didn't have to pay shipping, and they were fairly inexpensive. This, before shipping, is $3 a piece. This is, I bought 12 of these for $10, and I didn't have to pay shipping. That's pretty good. I still have to buy the lids. I went ahead and ordered from Fillmore Container the 16-ounce smooth jars as well, and the black lids that go with them, just because I could. Those were like $35 off of Walmart. It's like, why is the 16-ounce one so expensive? I could have gotten the bumpy ones at Walmart, but I don't want the bumpy ones. So I'm just thinking that hopefully these are a little bit easier to wick. I am also considering getting a wick setter from Candle Science, just because I'm in my mind. So to back up with my discrepancies, the bigger wicks are tunneling when the smaller wicks aren't. Two things I think are happening. One, maybe my wick is not getting dead center, and this not being glass and not being able to see what I'm doing is maybe an issue, and it's too big for the Easy Wick Setter from Candle Science. So I'm thinking, well, if my wicks are even just a little bit off center, one side of the candle is going to be hotter than the other, and maybe that's why I was getting some of those wax held up on the side, usually on one side and not just in the middle. So I think the wick centering is an issue, and maybe I'm trimming them with my wick cutter here so that I could get a good 1/4 inch on every single trim. But maybe I'm not getting that fully where it needs to be, so maybe my wicks aren't exactly the same size, but I'm trying really hard to keep those at a 1/4 inch every time I light them. I was really hoping to have these ready about August 1st. I'm going to be doing good to have these ready on October 1st, and I definitely want to have these ready before my big festival in October. It's a 10-day festival that I go to. I really, really want to have this line ready for that festival. So let's end this video on a fun note, and I am going to be asking you for advice. Let's talk fragrance oils. I have 4 of my 5 that I think I'm going to carry. Obviously, this is going to be dependent on my burn tests and my, if I get a good hot throw and all that good stuff. But as it stands now, pumpkin souffle. Look, I wasted 16 ounces almost testing. And so I feel like I need an apple, right? So pumpkin and apple, round out the fall vibe. I chose apple cider donut. I really like this fragrance, but I just feel like it needs something. There's just something that's missing in it. So I did a 2-to-1, 2 apple cider donut to 1 cinnamon stick. And I can't find my blotter. That was amazing. The cinnamon just gives it that little bit of a kick that it really is lacking. And I am so hopeful this turns out because I really, really, really like this. So number 2. So I have my apple and I have my pumpkin. And then I felt like I needed smoke, right? Fire, smoke, fireside, whatever. I have Marshmallow Fireside from Aztec Candle Company. I really like this, but again, it just felt like it needed something. And so I paired it 50-50 with Tonka and Oud. This, I am obsessed with this scent. It is so good. I am very hopeful for this one. This is a new to me fragrance. Cranberry and Clove from Midwest Fragrance Company. Are you familiar with spiced cranberry from Nature's Garden? It's very, very similar to that. It has that same top note. For sure, it has that same top note. But this clove is really nice with it. I really, really like a cranberry scent. And this is probably my favorite one I've ever smelled just out of the bottle. I'm hoping this one works. And so I need a 5th. I thought about banana bread, but I feel like I already have 2 foodie scents and I feel like I'm missing a moment, whether it's a cologne moment or something that may be a little bit different. So I don't know what I want to try for my fall line. So if you guys have any suggestions on a fragrance oil from one of 3 companies, Midwest Fragrance Company, Candle Science, or Flaming Candle, those are the 3 companies I'm planning on purchasing from very soon. I will be able to add a couple samples into my basket so I can try what you may suggest. Maybe I need a vanilla, cinnamon spiced vanilla from Candle Science. I like this one a lot. But I have this pulled for a winter line. If I can figure out a way to get all of this done by October 1, I want to have a winter line come December 1. We'll see. If I sell them well enough, maybe I'll have a winter line. If not, I'm going to skip them. The other thing I was thinking for my winter line is Sparkling Pine Bergamot. It's one of my very favorite piney, woodsy scents. I absolutely love this fragrance oil. But I thought maybe I would do that more for a winter candle and not a fall candle. But I'm really nervous that I'm not even going to have a winter candle. I don't know how all of this is going to turn out. So guys, that's where I'm at now. I've ditched the one vessel and I am going to be testing like a mad woman. And I'm probably going to have to do multiple scents at the same time because I'm running out of time. I feel like I'm just running out of time. It's towards the end of May now. So yeah, it's crunch time for me. I just feel like I'm feeling like I've just wasted so much time. Guys, that's it. I'm happy again because we got to talk about fragrance oils, right? So I really do thank you so much. You guys are so encouraging to me, and I really do feel like I have made such close connections and friends just sharing back and forth, and I appreciate you guys. You're always just giving me advice or tips or encouraging me or telling me my soap's not ugly. You're so awesome. And so I thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope this video wasn't too long or too boring. And I hope you will come back and see me again. Comment below. Give me any thoughts on some fragrance oils for fall and or winter that you think I might be missing in this little grouping here. And yeah, maybe I'll see you in the next one, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.